Hi there, today we are going to look at solving quadratics by completing the square. Now there is another lesson on completing the square just on its own, but this is specifically about solving a quadratic equation by completing the square. Alright, so this comes in two stages, two parts. This is part one, where what we have is an x squared at the front with no number in front, so no coefficient in front of the x squared. Now there is another lesson where there is a number in front of here, which makes it a little bit more challenging. So if you want to look at that particular one, then please look at this one, but I'm going to focus on where there is just an x squared at the front to start with. Alright, so our first step really is complete the square. So like I said, if you've not done that before, then please look at the lesson on completing the square. But essentially what we're looking to do is the idea is you're looking at this value of 4 here, and then we half it to give us what's going to go into our bracket here. So when we complete the square, we do x plus 2, so half that number there. So half the 4 gives us 2. And then we put a little squared, all right? Then we consider the fact that if we're going to expand this bracket squared as a double bracket, I would have x squared plus 4x and then a plus 4, which I do not have, all right? So then I take it away. I'll do then the opposite of that, all right? So whatever that is squared, I take it away, all right? And it doesn't really matter about the sign because you're squaring it. So whatever that number is squared, you take it away, and then the minus 3 at the end. All right, we then look to simplify these two. All right, so the minus 4 and minus 3, that's going to give us minus 7. And then at this point, we are just going to basically rearrange it. All right, so we take the minus 7 to the side and add, like we said earlier, add 7 to both sides, and it becomes x plus 2 squared equals 7. All right, we're then going to square root this to leave the x plus 2 on its own, so square root. At this point, obviously what we've got is when we square root it, it could be plus or minus, all right? So square root of anything can give you a positive or negative answer, hence this little symbols here, plus or minus. And then from there, we're going to take away the 2 from both sides. All right, take that 2 away from both sides. And what you've got now is plus or minus root 7, and then take away the 2, written in a slightly different way. So we normally put this bit and then plus or minus root 7, or the other way around, it doesn't really matter. But that's going to give us 2 solutions, all right? So if it asks us to leave it as decimal places, then I'd have to put minus 2 plus square root of 7. That's going to give me this one. And then if I did the other one, I'd have to do minus 2 minus a square root of 7, and that's going to give me this one over here. So I would end up with 2 solutions. All right, and that's always the case. It might ask you to leave it in an exam in this format where you've got a number and something square rooted, and that'll always be the case with this because the fact that you square rooted it here, so you always end up with a plus or minus. So again, trying to think about what the question asks and essentially make sure you answer the question involved. All right, so that's essentially solving a quadratic by completing the square where you have just an x squared at the front. All right, so if you are looking for a number where there's a value in front, then please look at the other part 2 of solving quadratics by completing the square, obviously available online and on maths-school.co.uk. Thanks for listening.